Hi, Sax is Mr. Y here, obviously, and you can see I've got a sax. I've got a Barry sax. Saxes, you know how I'm always yelling at you guys about how not having any spare reeds. You got to always have a couple of spare reeds. I say, I got caught in the COVID thing. I got caught. I have one reed for my Barry sax, and it's not playing real well. But I'm gonna give it a shot at least. We'll see what happens. I don't have any other saxes to demonstrate on right now, so I'm sorry. Anyway, though, I want to go through the E flat concert scale with you guys. We did 1 and 2 last time. A couple of weeks back, so now I'm going to go through 3, 4, and 5. There's no terribly weird notes here, at least in 3 or 4. Number 5 has some chromatics, but you remember it's the E flat concert scale, which is the C scale for alto saxes and Barry sax. That means, of course, you've got that low C, the bottom pinky key on your right hand. In addition to all the other big fingers, that's the low C, of course. C, D, E, F natural is in the key signature. Remember, this is the organic key signature. No sharps, no flats. So it's F natural, first finger. Then you've got G, A, B, C up at the top, okay? There are a couple of D's there too, of course, with all your fingers plus your thumb key in the back, okay? Other than that, though, it doesn't go very high in this one. It goes kind of low. There's some low B's later on and some low C sharps too, which we'll talk about. In fact, there is a low B at the end of line number 3. Now remember, on the sax, the low B is all 6 fingers plus your bottom C key with your pinky. Plus, on the alto sax, it's the inside key with your left pinky, okay? The outside key is C sharp, the inside key is B natural. The bottom key would be B flat, and the top key would be G sharp. On the Barry sax, you'll see that I have a kind of an odd-shaped key here. This key right here, the low key, is actually, it actually extends up into this top part here. So I have to be careful when I hit the B natural. I have to hit the center here. So I'm gonna see if I can give it a shot. My pinkies are kind of big for this, but I'll give it a shot, okay? Again, number 3, it's really just the same note you had before, but the fingerings are a little mixed up because you go from 1 to 3 to 2 to 4 to 3 to 5 to 4, etc. like that. Okay, not too seriously hard though, really. If you do have trouble on a treble spot, of course, slow down. Just do that one little treble spot. So, for instance, if you're having trouble right at the beginning of number 3, you could do. Just get those first 2 notes down, and then. First 3 notes down, then the first 4 notes, etc. Okay, you want to focus your energy just on that treble spot. But for right now, this is all of line number 3. A little squeaky down there on the bottom, but not too bad. For number 4, we have the same exact notes we had in number 3. There's a couple of low B naturals there toward the end. One, actually, low B natural there toward the end. This time, though, you do have articulations. On the first line, you have 2 notes slurred and then 2 notes staccato. That's the pattern. And on the second line, it reverses. 2 notes staccato and 2 notes slurred. So do pay attention to that. Make sure you're getting good. Here we go on number 4. Again, if you need to focus on a treble spot, like for instance, I know I had a little trouble with measure number 4 on this one. It was just a finger twister for me. The B, C, D, B, C. So what I did is I went like this first. Just got those first 2 notes down, and then. And then. And then. You assemble it like a puzzle. You put little pieces of it together first, and then gradually add onto it. Okay, so here we go on number 4. Squeaky down there on the bottom, but not too bad. I think my sax is a little messed up there on the bottom. I know, excuses, right? Okay, so for number 5, the good news here is that there's a really obvious treble spot. Okay, it is a little tricky with the fingers, but it's a real easy one to figure out too, because it's just the first measure and then the very last measure. There's a lot of pinky work involved here with both your pinkies, which are, of course, the stupidest fingers on your hand. So what you're going to want to do is practice this little chunks at a time. just little focus energy parts at a time. So, you know, one note, two notes at a time, two notes, three notes, four notes, five notes, that kind of thing. At the very beginning of number 5, we have that low C. Now, low C, remember, is 6 big fingers plus your bottom pinky key with your right hand. Okay, so that's pretty easy. Then to go to the B, the very next note, you're going to leave the C key down, not touch it. Okay, leave it down, and add the inside key on your left pinky. So. Mine's a little squeaky. I think my pad is leaking down there, but you get the idea. So C, B, C, E. Okay, it comes up to E. Then the second half of that measure is a little tricky too, because you've got D, 6 fingers, plus then C sharp. Now remember, C sharp is going to be C, your bottom pinky key again on your right hand, plus on your left hand it moves to your outside key over here. So you got to go from the inside one to the outside one, which is kind of the tricky part. Okay, so. Again, you're going to want to go just one note or two notes or three notes at a time until you get it really good, and then add it back in. The D sharp, by the way, in measure 2 is the same as E flat. Remember, 6 fingers, 6 big fingers, plus your top pinky key with your right hand. Okay, that's the D sharp or E flat. The rest of them are pretty easy. You've got an F sharp, then you've got a G sharp. Remember, G sharp is your football key here. Okay, I'll call it your football key. It's really called the G sharp key. Then there's an A sharp in the 4th measure. A sharp is the same as B flat. So 2 fingers like A plus your bottom roller coaster key, your bottom side key. Okay, that's the way to go on that. So let me do the whole first line. Remember, slow and good is better than fast and bad. Okay, go super slow motion until you get really that fast. Now, the second half is the same as the first half, just going backwards. So, you start in that high C this time. C, B, C, A, B, A sharp, B, G. If you forget what one of the notes are in the second line, remember they're all the same as the first line, so just look back to the first line and remember what you did. Okay? The A sharp is the same as B flat, 2 fingers plus your side. The G sharp, your football key. There's a G natural in the second measure too. Be careful. There's a G sharp first, and then it goes to G natural, so be careful. Third measure, there's a D sharp, 6 fingers plus your top pinky key. And then in the last measure, again, you've got D, and then C sharp outside pinky key with your left hand. Back to D, and then back to B, which is the inside pinky key with your left hand. Okay, so the last measure is really the toughest measure here, I think. For the last one, you just pick up that pinky altogether and just leave this pinky down, and you're fine. In fact, you can leave this pinky down the whole time anyway. You've got D, C sharp, D, B, C. So on the C sharp and the B and the C, you still got this pinky down, this right hand pinky, okay? The hardest part for me is going back and forth on this pinky, so you're going to want to practice that a little bit. Okay, so the whole second line. By the way, remember the second measure has F natural on it. There's no F sharp in this key signature, so make sure you're playing F natural there, okay? Second line. Yep, I'm definitely a little squeaky down there, but you get the idea. Okay, the hard part again is the pinky part. If your lips get tired while you're practicing this, of course, you can just practice with your fingers. Do mental practice until you get it really good. Remember, mental practice will help every single thing on your instrument except for your sound. You should do long notes for the sound. This week, probably, by the way, you should be doing the finger finders as, you know, long notes instead, right? I put out the video for the finger finders earlier this week. I mean, they're a lot of fun to play, especially on a woodwind. That was number 4, I think. I don't remember. You know, stuff like that, just to make the long tones easier and more fun, really, is what it is. Okay? Good luck with it.